Hello everyone. Today we're going to cover clearing anger with EFT. So if you have ever felt any anger towards a situation or towards any particular person, the goal here is to heal the part of you that feels angry. It's to love the part of you that feels angry. It's to accept the part of you that feels angry. It's to understand the positive intention of the part of you that feels angry. Similarly, for any other emotion that you ever want to clear, the goal is to love that part, to accept that part, to understand that part, and then to mature up that part and find a way that that part can get its positive intention met by a more mature way of dealing with the situation. But the primary step is acceptance of that part. And most of us tend to not accept that part because society has said it's inappropriate to be angry. Society has said it's inappropriate to be fearful. Or if we're feeling shame or guilt, the emotions are so dense, they're so low, we just may never even want to acknowledge that we're feeling them. Society has trained men that they may not cry, that they may not feel fear, and they're scorned for it. They're called chicken or this or that. So there's so many emotions that are societally not acceptable. And because of that, we don't accept them either. We just listen to the rules of society and we don't accept them either. But the healing lies in accepting each and every single part of ourselves until we come to a place of self-love, loving every part of ourselves. So that's where we're headed, unconditional love for ourselves. And as we start loving ourselves unconditionally, we will start loving others unconditionally also. And that is the solution for peace on the planet. It's just bringing yourself to a place of self-love. And as you love and accept all parts of yourself, you will love and accept all parts of others also. You will have more love, more compassion. Your heart will be more open. And traditionally, just as men have not been allowed to express maybe their fear or their other emotions, women have often not been allowed to express their rage, their anger. So today, this is a shout out to anyone who feels anger but hasn't allowed themselves, for whatever reason, to accept that it's there. This is your chance to tap along with me. We will use emotional freedom techniques and we'll clear it out. Okay? So we start by, since I'm not using the tripod, we'll use the sore spot instead of using the karate chop spot to bring up the issue you want to heal. And also the phraseology. I will not be saying I deeply and completely accept myself. I will be saying I deeply and completely accept this part of myself, because we want to focus the love and acceptance towards that part. We really want to focus the light of God that's coming through us onto that part. You know, when you do Ho'oponopono, you say, I'm sorry, I thank you, I love you, please forgive me. What you're really doing is you're saying it to that part within yourself and saying, I'm sorry that I haven't acknowledged you till now. I'm sorry that you haven't had a chance to heal. And thank you, Divinity, for bringing this up again. Thank you for mirroring it in somebody around me. Thank you for showing me that I have this. And thank you for helping me to heal it. And I love you, this part of me. I love you. So we want to send love to this part. We want to send acceptance to this part. So let's do that with our anger today, shall we? Start at the crook of your neck. Go down 3 inches. 1, 2, 3. Go to the left 3 inches. 1, 2, and 3. And now fish around somewhere where you find a spot that's sore. Once you find your sore spot, just rub that sore spot. Just rub the sore spot and then say, even though, I found it, even though I feel so angry at, fill in the blank, whoever you're angry at or whatever situation you're angry at, okay? Even though I feel so angry at blah, 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 I deeply and completely accept this part of myself, okay? We want to focus our love on this part of ourselves. We want to focus our attention on this part of ourselves. It's not about accepting all of you at this point in time. It's just about loving and accepting and healing that part. So even though I feel this anger, in my case, it's like about a 3 out of 10. Even though I feel this anger, which is a 3 out of 10, state your intensity with whatever it is, 7 out of 10, 8 out of 10, 10 out of 10, whatever. I deeply and completely accept myself 3 times. Even though I have this anger at, I deeply and completely accept myself, at this part of myself. Even though I have this anger at so-and-so, I deeply and completely love and accept this part of myself. This angry part, this angry part. So we're tapping the EFT points. We started with the top of the head. Now we're doing the beginning of the eyebrow, side of the eye, this angry part. And you feel a release. You'll see where it's releasing from as you're tapping. Under the nose, this angry part. Chin point, this angry part. Collarbone. So you're going, these 2 bumps, you're going like a centimeter, half an inch under those 2 bumps. And you want to use a thumb on one side and 2 or 3 fingers on the other side. So you want to apply enough pressure on both sides so you're actually making a difference in the meridian points. This is the K27, a kidney meridian. It's very important for bilateral functioning of the body. And the last point is 3 inches under the armpit. So 1, 2, 3. So you just tap this angry part. Top of the head. Do another round. This angry part. I'm so angry. You can say whatever comes to mind as you remember the incident or as you remember the problem that made you feel angry. You can use any wording that resonates with what you're feeling, and don't be afraid of saying whatever you feel, because what you feel is what you're healing as you're tapping on it. Okay, say exactly what you feel. You don't have to worry you're going to magnify the problem, because you're going to do the opposite. Even if it magnifies initially, it's eventually going to come down. So you're in a safe space here. You're in a healing space. This angry part, this angry part, and then under the arm, this angry part. Okay, so you can muscle test if you know muscle testing. Otherwise, just check in with yourself and see how angry am I now. So for me, it was a 3. It's now a 1. It's now a 1. So I brought it down to 1 out of 10. Let's tap some more. Bring it down some more. Work with me. Keep working on it. If you're down to a 0, then you can stop. If not, you can continue tapping with me. This angry part. So when we're doing the top of the head, we're actually working on a meridian which starts here under the nose. It's called the governing spine. Goes all the way up like this, all the way down the back of your spine to your tailbone. So this point and this point are both working on the governing spine, both of them. Okay, this angry part. this angry part. This is the bladder meridian, side of the eye, gallbladder, this angry part. I forgot under the eye, I don't know, for some reason, sorry about that. So there's another spot under the eye, that's a stomach meridian. This angry part, under the nose, this angry part. Governing spine meridian. And now you have the central brain meridian, which goes down from here. So this angry part. Collarbone, this angry part. Under the arm. Under the arm is your spleen, pancreas meridian, this angry part. Okay, so now my anger level at this person is 0, half, it's a half out of 10. So we're going to do one more round. And if you need to, if you have more anger, what you can simply do is just rewind this video and go back to tapping some more rounds of it until you bring it down to a 0. It's a good idea to really bring it down to an absolute 0. If you find you can't, then find an EFT practitioner to work with who can help you, because they may have other support for you that will help you bring it down to a 0. Top of the head again, this angry part, this remaining anger, this remaining teensy tiny bit of anger, this remaining anger. 12 minutes already, okay. This angry part, this angry part. Gallbladder holds resentment. It's a good place to tap for anger. This is gallbladder. Liver is under the breastbone. We usually don't do liver because there's no need to do all the points, because if you clear some of the meridians, the rest get cleared. Stomach meridian, this angry part. Under the nose, this angry part. Chin point, this angry part. It's the brain meridian. Brain holds failure or success. I'm a success. When the brain meridian is functioning fine, it says I'm a success. When it's not, it's I'm a failure. Kidney meridian. This angry part. Everything you have 2 of functions on your bilateral circuit, and this is where the bilateral circuit gets balanced. 2 eyes, 2 ears, 2 hands, 2 arms, 2 legs, 2 lungs, 2 kidneys, whatever you have 2 of. This is a very important meridian to balance. But you can see as you're tapping where you tend to store different emotions. Under the arm, this angry part. Okay, so now my anger is a 0, it's a quarter, it's a half. No, it's 0. Okay, so I have successfully brought the anger level down to 0 by tapping on these meridian points using EFT, and I encourage you to do the same. And when you start up and you're rubbing your sore spot or tapping on your karate chop spot, your karate chop spot is right here. It's right at the bottom of your hand where you would, if you were doing a karate chop, you would be doing it with this part of your hand, so you can tap with your other hand. I'm holding the camera right now, so I can't do it, but you just tap with your other hand at this spot under the hand, and you can use that way of getting started. and say your initial phrase 3 times. Okay, so I hope this has been of some help to you, and you can use this video to help bring more peace to the planet just by clearing out your own emotions. You can use this video for other emotions too. Just replace this angry part with this fearful part, this guilty part, this part that feels shame, or whatever is coming up, this part that feels desire. Maybe you have a yearning or a desire for something and it's not manifesting. So you can use it for anything. You can literally use any EFT video that any practitioner has for any other emotion, because you just tap along with them. So I hope it helps you. I hope it works for you. And thank you for liking, for sharing. If you do think you would like to work with me, then my contact details are in the description box below. And you can write to me and we can schedule. You need not be in the same city. We can work on Skype or Zoom or WhatsApp or FaceTime, whatever. It's a very global world these days. So I used to work with clients all the way in New Zealand and Australia way back in, oh my gosh, was it, I don't know, since all these things started, Messenger and so on. There were clients with whom I had never even seen their faces. If I passed them on the street, I probably wouldn't recognize them, but we were working just fine on Messenger. I'm very intuitive, extremely highly intuitive, and almost like a medical intuitive. And often I tune in and I know what's happening with the client even before the session. It just comes to me. And sure enough, when we start working, that is exactly what the issue is. So if that would be something that would support you, then, go ahead and write me an email and we can schedule. One more thing. How do you know when you should work on your own and when you should contact a practitioner to help you? The level of toxicity of the problem has to be equivalent to the level of vitality of the combination of people working on it. So let's say the toxicity of the problem is like a 9 out of 10. And at that moment, your vitality level is a 6 out of 10, when you can't handle it on your own. You need to get someone else. You can get a friend to work with you. You can get somebody else to work with you. Or you can call a practitioner who is skilled, because they're working with so many other people. So they have learned the strategies and techniques of how to help you in a more efficient way. You could call a practitioner or schedule with them or whatever. So in the end, the combined vitality level of the two people working together, meaning the client as well as the friend or practitioner, has to be greater than the toxicity of the problem. That's how you know if you need help or you don't need help. So I hope that has clarified that issue of when you should ask for help and when you should try and do it on your own. And sometimes you can do it on your own. You can get into a bigger mess because things came up that you weren't ready for. So just check in with yourself before you start tapping and see, is this something I can handle myself, or is this something I should get help with? Okay? So I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Thank you.